somebody will change the prices. Okay, somebody is managing what products. Somebody will delete the products. Somebody will update the product quantity, prices, and all the things, right? So who's called as that person is admin or some users who's having some what do you call it as authentication or authorization for managing what here this web application. For that, if you work with like if you work with other programming languages like Java or .NET, you have to create a separate interface for what admin. You have to create a separate interface for what admin, separate interface for what admin. But when it comes to the Django, you don't require to develop any admin interface. You don't require to develop any admin interface. So it will provide one built-in admin application. So for every project, for every Django project, so Django provide one interface. What is that interface or what is that application is admin. So by using that admin interface, what you can do, you can manage the data of what web application. You can create users. For example, if you go if you see the supermarket, right? A supermarket, if you take supermarket, right? Some supermarket is there, some Reliance Mart or some supermarket will be there, right? So in that, some people will be joining in the supermarket as a salesman, right? So where they'll be there in counter, right? So for every salesperson, there will be one user. For every salesperson, there will be one user ID, one user ID and one password, one user ID and one password. But what is the role of those users are only selling, but they cannot do any other changes. Suppose they can do certain things, but they cannot add the products. They cannot change the price. They cannot change certain things related with what a supermarket. Who will do all these things by a person who manages what that particular application. And that person you call it as what administrator. So there will be different types of users. One is normal users will be there. Normal users who called as what here employees. Yes, normal users are what here employees. And what is the role of this? What is the role of this employees? Role. I'm saying role. Roles are nothing but roles are nothing but what is the meaning of roles here? A role is nothing but permissions. Roles are nothing but what? Permission. Okay, so employees having some permissions on the database, and admin will have some permissions on which one? Database. Getting on. So it is having some predefined interface for creating employees, for giving roles to what? Employees. Suppose if this admin is not there, what do you have to do? If this admin is not there, what do you have to do? You have to develop a separate admin interface for your project. That becomes becomes what? Very complex, right? So, but when it comes to the Django, Django is provided what? Inbuilt. Django is provided what? Inbuilt admin interface by using which you can manage what you can manage database. Built-in admin interface by using which you can manage what? Database. You can manage database. You can manage what here? Users. You can create users. You can give the roles to each and every user. All these things you can do it by using which interface? Admin interface. Understood? Understood or not? Huh? Understood what is this admin interface is? Understood? So admin is what? Admin is nothing but is a built-in. Admin is nothing but as a built-in. It is a built-in application. It is a built-in application. It is built-in application provided by whom? It is a built-in application provided by whom? Django. So are you building any admin functionality for your project? No. So admin is a built-in inbuilt application. You don't require to develop this. It is given by whom? Django. By using this interface, what you can do, you can manage the databases, you can manage the data and database, and you can also manage what? Users. You can also manage what? Users. See, you develop a project, and this project is managed by what? Some people. This project is managed by what? Some people. This project is, suppose, that is what I'm saying. Now, if you take a supermarket, a supermarket is there. In supermarket, you have a two users. Two types of users will be there. One is manager is there. Manager. Okay. One is manager and one more is what? One is a manager and one more is what? Employee. So who create employees? Generally, who create employees for this application? Who will create employees for this application? Manager. Employee, he create himself. Huh? No. So these employees are created by whom? Managers. Managers, right? These employees are created by managers. It means creating employees is nothing but you are trying to register by giving username and what? Password. And you create an employee. For this employee, what you give? For this employee, what you give? Roles. So this called as authentication, and this is called as what? Authentication, and this is called authentication. This is authentication. This is authorization. Authentication, authorization. Authentication, authorization. Authorization is nothing but permissions. Permissions are called which one? Authorization. That is called as role. Getting on it. So if it is authenticated, it should also have what? Some roles. It should also have some roles. You create a roles. Who create a roles? Manager. Who create a roles? Manager. What he can do on the data? He can add it, he can delete it, he can update it. So those are nothing but what? Roles. But who is giving these roles? By the manager. To whom? Employees. But how you do all these things? How you do all these things? How you do all these things for your application? By using one interface. By using one application. What is that application is? Admin. What is that application is? Admin. Understood? Understood or not? You always in A plus B only. Think beyond. Yes. So, yes. Just to try to understand. Again, I'm telling you. So, you develop a project. Who uses your project? For example, you develop one, you have a supermarket. Okay, you have a supermarket. Yes. And for your supermarket, you want to develop, what do you want to develop? Web application. Supermarket. This is a supermarket. Okay, supermarket is nothing but Yes, supermarket is there. Okay, this is a supermarket application, web application. Okay, this is your supermarket. I'm not talking about customers. I'm not talking about customers. Yes or no? I'm not talking about customers. Okay, so customers means that is different. Customers is different. This is at front end, back end. No, this is front end, back end, back end. This is not front end, right? You are doing all this at what? Back end by some people. Back end. This is not front end. This is at what? Back end. Manager is visible. You are a manager or a customer. You are a manager or customer. Customer. What is the role of yours? Adding products. You'll add a new products. No. You are a customer. Role of customer is buying. You just buy. That's all. Your role is not changing price. You change the price and purchase product. No. You cannot change the price. Who will change the price? Yes. Who manages the supermarket or not? Huh? So that person is called what? Manager. Yes or no? So one manager will be there or more than one? More than one. More than one. One manager or more than one. Okay. Suppose if you take this DMart is there, DMart, all these things are there, no? You take the products and you go to bill counter. Okay, na? So that person will be there, one person. Oh, that person is called who? Employee, right? That person is who? Employee. Is having a login? Is having a login or not? Yes, is an employee. Anyone can access, huh? No. Who can access? Only employees. So who will create employees? Managers, right? So creating employees is nothing but authentication. So every employee is given username and password. And at the same time, they have given some, at the same time, they have given some roles. At the same time, they have given some roles. Understood? Huh? Okay, that management is done by using one interface. What is that interface is? Admin. So you need to develop this interface for separately when it comes to the Java, when it comes to the Java and other things, right? Okay. Okay, so this interface, you call it as which interface? Admin interface. So by using this admin interface, what you can do? What you can do by using this admin interface? You can manage what? You can manage which application? Web application. So by using this, what you can do? You can create what? Users. You can create what? Roles. Users and their roles. And you can manage what? Database. All these things you can do it by using a built-in interface called which one? Admin. Clear? Huh? Okay. Is it this is clear? Okay. So who can change the price? Employee. Employee, admin. Admin. So admin means if the user is having a permission to change the price, he can change it. Getting on. Permission is nothing but a role. Permission is nothing but a role here. Okay. Yes. So built-in admin interface. Second feature is built-in admin interface. Auto-generated what? Admin panel to manage the data and what? Users. So as a Django developer, you don't require to develop separate panel. Which panel? Admin panel. You don't require to generate which panel? Admin panel or admin interface. That is provided by whom? Django itself. So it means, is it reduce the development time or not? Yes. So auto-generated admin panel to manage the data and what? Users. So you register models are nothing but database to manage them through user interface. It is an interface by using which I'm writing here. So some more points I'm writing. Okay. So this interface, auto-generated means inbuilt. Auto-generated is nothing but what? Inbuilt. It is, actually it is inbuilt. Inbuilt. Okay, inbuilt or inbuilt application which comes with what? Django project. So you don't require to create this. And this interface or application is used for managing what do you manage here? Users. Okay. Second one is you manage what here? Database. You manage what here? Roles. Okay. All these things you can do it by using one predefined interface, and that is called admin. Clear this one? Right. So the next one is, okay, now Now Django provides or Django provide a facility called which one? ORM. And what is ORM stands for is object relational mapping. Object relational mapping. Okay. So if you want to communicate with the database, okay, if you want to communicate with the database, how you communicate with the database? Generally, database understand which language? Correct. Database understand which language? SQL. Database understand which language? SQL. For example, you have an Oracle. So Oracle understand which language? SQL. Okay, suppose you have a MySQL. What is MySQL is? Database. Okay, MySQL is a database and this understand which language? SQL. Any database understand which language? SQL. SQL is a database language. So if you want your Python program should communicate with the database, you pass which commands? Or you pass which commands to the database? SQL commands. If you don't know SQL, can you communicate with the database? Suppose I want to insert the data, then I should send which command? Insert command. I want to update the data, then I should send which command? Update command. I want to retrieve the data, then I should send which command? Select command. Yes. So without knowing SQL, can I communicate with the database? No. But I don't want to use what here? SQL. Because the problem with the SQL is SQL is a data SQL syntax. SQL syntax is what here? Database dependent. SQL syntax is a database dependent that changes from one database to what? Another database. Getting on it. SQL syntax is what here? Database dependent that changes from one database to what? Another database. For example, in one database, you may write select star from. Okay, in one database, you may write select star from select star from some table name. What is the table here? EMP. So this get all the details from which table? EMP table. One database may understand select all from. Okay, select all from which one? EMP. So here you are using which one here? All. Here you are using which one? Star. Is the syntax of this both are same or different? Different. For example, this is understand by which database? Excel database. Understand this is understand by which database? Y database. This understand by which database? Excel database. And this understand by which database? Y database. Suppose I build an application using which database? Y database. Then I should write the SQL commands understand by which database? Y database. Suppose if I use select all from EMP, this will work only with which database? Y database. Suppose after developing a project, after some days, I changed my database from Y to what? I changed my database from Y to what? X. Then what I have to do? Okay, I changed my database from Y to what? X. Then what I have to do? I have to change my command or not? Yes, I have to change my command from all to what? Star. So changing commands is nothing but changing the complete code or not? Yes, that becomes what? Very complex. That becomes what? Very complex. But I want to develop an application which is database independent. I want my application should be what? Database independent. Then as a developer, you don't use what here? SQL. Then you are using one framework. And what is it is? ORM. ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping. It means you are representing everything as what here? Classes and what? Object. It means are you using SQL? No, you are using Python classes and objects to communicate with what? Database. But database understand which language? Database understand which language? SQL. Then who generate the SQL commands? ORM. You are not using SQL. You are using which one? Classes and objects. What this ORM will do? It will generate an equivalent. It generate an equivalent SQL statement respective to which one? Database. That is done by which one? ORM. So ORM is nothing but is an object-oriented relational communicating with the database by using object-oriented programming. Communicating with the database using what? Object-oriented programming. Suppose you write a class. Class represents what? Table. Okay, object represents what? Record. Class represents what? Table. Suppose class EMP represents what? EMP table. If you create an object, that is what? EMP record. So which one is easy? Classes and objects are SQL. Classes and objects means you are communicating directly by using which programming? Object oriented programming. What is the advantage? What is the advantage? Database. You can develop database independent application. You can develop database independent application because SQL syntax is what? Database dependent. Whenever there is a change in the backend, you have to do changes in which commands? SQL commands. That becomes what? Very complex. To avoid that, I want to communicate with the database. I want to develop a application independent of which one? Database. Then don't use which code? SQL code. You are using which code? Python code. Python code only. You are using which code? Python code. You don't use select. You don't use select. You don't use insert. You don't use what? Update. You don't use delete command. You don't use all these commands. But who will generate all these commands? By one tool. Which tool? ORM. ORM. Who will generate this SQL syntax code? ORM. But so when you want to work with the Django, is it required to know SQL? You need to know SQL or you need to know Python? Python. You don't require to know what? SQL. That is taken care by which one? ORM. You don't require to know insert command. You don't require to know update command or delete command. No. So that commands are generated by which tool? ORM tool. Understood? So ORM. What is ORM is? Object relational mapping. Object relational mapping. Right? Yes. Okay, object relational mapping. So it interact with the database using Python code instead of what? SQL. So this ORM supports what? Multiple databases. Like you have different ORM engines. Engine. What is the role of engine here? Converting which code? Python code into which code? SQL code. That is taken care by what? ORM tools. ORM engine or ORM tools. So Django provide different ORM engines like Postgres, SQL, MySQL, SQLite, Oracle. So many databases supported by which one? Django, right? So interacting with the database using Python code instead of what? SQL. I'll write one more point here. Interacting with database using object-oriented programming. So what is this? Using classes and what? Objects. Interacting with the database using object-oriented programming, and this object-oriented is nothing but classes and objects. Understood? What do you say? You understood? Okay, what is the first feature I said? What is the first feature of Django? What is the first one? MVT. What is MVT? Model view template. What it is? Design pattern, or it is what? Architecture used for developing web application in Django. What is the advantage? Maintaining your code becomes easy. Separating the business logic, presentation logic, persistent logic. So by separating, you can develop the application easily. You can maintain the code easily. By combining, it becomes what? Complex. By separating, it becomes what? Easy. Understood? It is an architecture. Okay, what is the second one is? It is provided which interface? Admin interface. What is admin is? Built-in, inbuilt application, which is provided by what? Django. By using this interface, what you can do? You can manage users, you can manage databases, you can manage what? Roles. So, but If it is any other programming languages, you have to develop which interface? Admin interface. But Django is provided. Yes. That is what you'll say, no? Less coding. Less coding. Don't repeat yourself. You don't require to write the same admin for every project. So automatically it generate which panel? Admin panel. Admin panel. Right? Understood? Then third one is what? ORM. So it provide one feature called ORM. It means you can communicate with the database using which code? Python code instead of using what? SQL. It means you are not using SQL, but SQL is generated or not? Yes. Because database cannot understand Python. Database understand only SQL. But who generate this SQL equivalent statements by ORM? Very good. Understood? Okay. The next feature is, okay, next feature is what? Security. Okay, next one is what here? Security. Security is there. So security, now this is very important in web application development, right? So security from your application should have a security from whom? Security from whom? Security from whom? Your application must be secured from whom? Hackers. Okay, very good. Hackers, threats. Very good. Security, right? Security from hackers. 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 That is what you'll say. No, cyber security. Cyber security. Now, cyber security you'll say, no? Security from whom? Hackers. Unauthorized users, right? So don't put the questions in Q and A here. Okay, put in chat window, not virus. Oh, virus. Who said virus here? Virus is security. Yeah? Virus is related with security. No, virus is different. Security is different. Yes. Virus and security both are same. Huh? No. Security from unauthorized users. And these unauthorized users are called what? Hackers. Unauthorized users are called what? Hackers. Hackers. But how hackers will hack? Hackers will hack, right? Even though is not registered user, he'll enter. Even though is not registered user, he'll enter into the site and he'll do a lot of things. That is called as cyber attacks, right? But how you enter? Because there are so many hacking techniques are there. You have a course, ethical hacking. Okay, they learn how to hack the website. Hackers will be there, right? Now, hacking is legal or illegal? Illegal. Legal, huh? No, it is illegal. Illegal, right? Okay, cyber crime. They'll put in jail. If you hack any banking website or any website. Okay? Yes. Security means, yes, security, there are different hacking techniques are there. Not credential, all the things. Okay. Not all the things. Now your application should be provide some security. Means it should avoid certain things. It should avoid certain things. Okay. So now security, how it is providing security? It avoid which injection? SQL injection. SQL injection. So it will protect against what here? SQL injection and cross-site scripting and cross-site request forgery and clickjacking, password hashing and what? Authentication. What all these are? All these are what? Hacking techniques. Hackers uses this hacking techniques. Hackers uses what? This hacking techniques. It means your web application should avoid this hacking what? Techniques. It means your web application should avoid which one? SQL injection. Your web application should avoid which one? Cross-site scripting. Your web application should avoid what? Cross-site request forgery. Your web application should avoid which one? Clickjacking. Your web application should avoid which one? Password hashing, and what is that? Authentication. SQL injection is there. So here I'll just tell you a simple example. What is SQL injection? SQL injection, right? So these are called which techniques? These are called which techniques? Hacking techniques. You read this, you become hacker. Huh? So you try to enter into the website by using all these techniques. Yes or no? Suppose sometimes they'll send one, what do you call it as, what do you call it as, fake links, right? Fake link, fake links or not? Yes, it look like a Facebook. It look like what? Facebook. That is called as cross site request forgery. Forgery means what? Your sign can be forger, right? It looks same, but that is your not your sign. That is not your sign. That is not your sign. That is not your sign, but it is forger. It look like a Facebook, but that is not like a Facebook. Means they take your credential and log into what? Original. Understood? Cross-site request forgery. So these are different techniques used by whom? Hackers. These are the different techniques used by which one? Hackers. Okay, right? So this can be avoided. This can be avoided. This can be avoided. This can be avoided in what? Django. This can be avoided in Django by using some built-in functions, by using built-in what? Libraries, by using which you can avoid SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and cross-site request forgery, and clickjacking, and password hashing, and what is that? Authentication. Understood? So these are nothing but what? Hacking techniques. For example, I'll tell you a simple SQL injection. I'll tell you, without knowing password, I can log in. Without knowing password, can I log in? Yes. If your application is SQL injected enabled, if your application is what? SQL injected enabled, SQL inject enabled, then you can log in with by just entering what? Username without entering in what? Password. Just to see here, I'll just tell you this. A simple program, I'm writing it. Okay, so this is what you call it as SQL injection. What is SQL injecting? Is nothing but injecting some characters in which command? SQL command, so that you change the behavior of what? SQL command by inserting some characters or by inserting some commands into the SQL command. You change the syntax of what? SQL command. Let me tell you with the example. Simple. I think everyone knows MySQL, right? How to communicate with MySQL? What is that? MySQL dot what? Connector. MySQL dot connector. Okay. So okay. Now you have a MySQL, right? Open MySQL command line. So 1 hour 15 minutes is not sufficient here. If we develop one project, 1 hour 15 minutes is not sufficient. Okay, daily we are starting at 7:40, right? So 1 hour 20 minutes, 15 minutes is not sufficient. So we'll move. थोड़ा जल्दी start करेंगे. Yes or no? Otherwise, not enough. Because once we start developing project, you should develop view, you should develop template, you should develop model. If you develop view only, it will over. 1 hour is over. Understood? Okay. So see here, features only last 2 days we are talking. Okay, na? Right? We'll see that. Now 7:30 only, but later we'll see like moving backward. So here I create one database, create database, some database. This is already there. So use a DB1. Okay. So this is one database, and in this, just check the tables. Now here I create users. Create table. What is the table I'm creating? Users. Where I store whose details? User details like username and password. Okay. So I try to input username. Okay, username is some worker 20, and then password, and this is also I'm just writing some worker 20. Then I insert the data, insert into what is this? Users values. So I enter username, and one more is what? Password. Okay, then insert into users values, username, and this is what here? Password. Okay, right? So I registered how many users? Two users, right? This is NIT and one more is Ramesh, right? Then next what I'm doing is I'm developing a login. This is my login. So this is which application here? Login application. What is the first step? Establishing connection to database. MySQL.connector.connect. So you give the database name. What is your database name? DB1. You give the database username is what? Root. You give the database password is what here again? Root. Understood? Right? Then next, how you send an SQL command using cursor. Connection dot cursor. Okay, connection dot cursor. Okay. So then I ask for username and password, right? So this is my login. This is my login. This is my login. This is my login. So where I'll ask the end user to input what? Username. So I'll say input what? Username, and input what here? Password. Okay. Now if I run this code, now what will happen? It just connect and is asking enter username and password. I enter username. What is the username I've given? NIT. And what is the password I've given? N123. Then when I give this username and password, then I should verify, right? Is it this username password is correct or not? Okay. How can I verify it? I can verify it by sending one query. I'll verify it by sending what? Query. Query, I'll send it. Which query? Select. You send which query? Select. Select, right? Select. Select. Now what is my command is? Select star from users. Select star from users where username equal to, I just concatenate. What value? Uname. What I'm concatenating? Uname. Okay. Plus. Okay. Where I'm saying and what is that? Password. Okay. And password. What I'm concatenating? Username equal to and password. Password. What I'm saying? Password. Again, I'm concatenating which value? Password. But how I created this command? By just concatenating what here? Values. How I created this command? By concatenating what? Values. What I concatenated? Uname. What I concatenated? Password. Suppose my command, suppose I assume that I given user name as what? NIT. I've given password as what? N123. What is my command is select star from users where uname equal to NIT and password equal to N123. Password equal to N123, right? Then I'll say cursor dot execute. What I execute here? Command. It means this command is sent to what? Database. This command is sent to database, and here I'll say cursor dot fetch one. Cursor dot fetch one. I said fetch one. Fetch one. Fetch how many rows? One row. If row is equal to none, means if there is no rows, I'll just say invalid username or what? Invalid username or what? Password. Else I'm saying here welcome. I just give the message called which one? Welcome, right? Run this code now. Now here I enter username. What is the username? NIT. What is the password? N123. Oh, now you are concatenating, right? So you should concatenate, and this should be given in what? Single quotes. They should be given in what? Single quotes. I should embed what? Single quotes. Because username and password should be in what? Single quotes. So we created cursor, right? Enter username NATN123. What is the message is? Welcome. But the username password is correct or not? Yes. Okay. Then I enter username. What is that? Ramesh R321. What is the message? Welcome. Okay. Suppose if I enter username NIT N456, valid or invalid? Invalid. So invalid username or password. But I want to log in with invalid username password. I want to log in with invalid username and password. Then how can I log in? How can I log in? How can I log in? Then what these hackers will do is they can go for SQL injection. They just go for what here? SQL injection. SQL injection, they'll use it. Okay, they just give one. Okay, just gives here. See here, just they enter username. They enter username. Yes, SQL injection. Okay, just to inject some command or inject some characters within what? SQL command. SQL command. SQL command. Suppose username is what? NIT. Okay, username is NIT or I said or 1 equal to what here? 1. What is it? Username equal to what? NIT or 1 equal to 1. So what is your command is now? Tell me. Select star from users where username equal to what? NIT or what? 1 equal to 1. Or miss. Okay, suppose if this condition is false, always 1 is equal to? Always 1 is equal to what? 1 only. Is it this condition becomes what? Is it this condition becomes true or false? True. This condition becomes what here? True. I enter password is ABC. Sorry. ABC. NIT or 1 equal to 1. Or last will give. Right. So because next condition is what? And. Okay. If that condition is false, then it will come to this. Username is. What is username is? Yes. So what you can do here is one username I'll give. Some injection has to be done where that condition becomes what? True. That condition should be given. That condition has to become what? True. It should become true. Now I'm saying ABC or 1 equal to 1. So I just write 1 equal to 1. What is? No. Somewhere I'm doing mistake here. So username and password. Select star from users. Username is NIT. Password is not correct. So what is the password I've given? ABC. Or I said 1 equal to 1. So 1 is equal to 1. So this is what I injected. One condition I injected within what? SQL command. What is that? Another condition I injected? Or 1 equal to 1. I said what? Or 1 equal to 1. What is 1 equal to 1? 1 is a column. This is pseudo column, a runtime column. 1 equal to 1. Always 1 is equal to 1 or not? Yes. Then what will happen? Even though password is wrong, it will try to retrieve. It will try to retrieve what? Details. Now this kind of technique you call it as what? This kind of technique you call it as what? SQL inject. This is called as SQL injection. What you are doing in SQL injecting? Hackers will inject some condition. Correct or not? So you enter one condition here. What is that you entered here? Or 1 equal to 1. Means one more condition is added there. Which condition is added? Or 1 equal to 1. One more condition is added here. What is that? Another condition is added. 1 equal to 1. Means always 1 is equal to 1. So then what will happen? It will retrieve all the data from where? Table. It will retrieve all the data from table. Once it is retrieved, then is it eligible for login or not? Yes. So this kind of thing you call it as what? SQL. This is called as what? SQL injection. This is called as SQL injecting, right? So this can be avoided. This can be avoided here by using what? Parameters. By using what? Parameters. You don't concatenate. What do you do it? You don't concatenate, but rather than use what? Percentages. Are you inserting or not? Yes. So that can avoid which problem? SQL. That can avoid which problem? SQL injection. How SQL injection can be avoided? By using parameters. But if you concatenate, there will be a problem of what? SQL injection. One condition. I've just given 1 equal to 1 is what? Condition. So what is my command becomes now? Tell me. Here my command becomes like this. What is the command is? Select star from what is that? Users. Select star from users where username equal to what? NAT. And what is the second one is? Password. Password equal to what? XYZ. Now tell me, is it username password matches or doesn't matches? Doesn't match. But here I added one more here. What I added here? One more condition I added. What is it? R 1 equal to what? 1. Getting on it. So 1 equal to 1. It means this condition is false. Even though this condition is what? False. If this condition is false, then it will check what? This one. Is it 1 is equal to 1? Is it 1 is equal to 1? Yes. Then what will happen? It will retrieve all the details or not? Will it retrieve all the details from users or not? Yes. Understood? Huh? So that is what will happen when it comes to this, right? So this is one more thing which has happened here, right? So one injected, one more separate. I think you have to, because I'm not a hacker, right? So ABC, and I close here. ABC, I close. Okay. So R, I said 1 equal, I just write like 1. Okay, like this I've written. Okay, no problem. We'll see. Just see here. Welcome. Now, password is correct or wrong? Password is correct or wrong? Wrong. But I log in or not? So what is the message? What is the message? Welcome. I know username, but I don't know. I know username, but I don't know password. But still logged in or not? Yes. This injecting, you injected some characters or not? Yes. So it means here we close. Now what is the command has become now? See here. The command is like this. The problem is the command is like this. What is the command is? I don't teach hacking. Don't worry. So select star from users. So where what? Username equal to what? NIT. So concatenated single quotes, NIT and closed what? Single quotes. Then next and single quotes open, and then what? ABC and close what? Single quotes. Close the single quotes here. There, while entering ABC, I injected what? Single quotes. I injected what? Single quotes. Along with that, again I said R. Along with that, again I said R 1 equal to what? 1, and I close what? Single quotes. Okay, this condition has become what now? False. If this condition is false, will it check this condition or not? Yes. Is it 1 is equal to 1, true or false? True. Then what will happen? Read all the details. Read all the details and he logged in or not? Yes. So is it I know password or don't know password? I know password or don't know password? Don't know password. But even though I log in, don't try this. Okay, suppose you take your friend's email ID and try this. It doesn't work, right? Because those are secured. Gmail, Facebook, Instagram, all these are what? Secured. Okay, na? You cannot hack it by using which one? SQL? SQL what? injection. Okay, na? So this kind of problems. No, I'm not. Yes. Hacking is interesting. Hacking is very interesting, but it is not uh, nowhere it is used. Okay, na? Yes. But you should know some idea about this, like how this hacking will be done, right? Yes. Yes, 1 is equal to 1. 1 is equal to 1 is what? True only, right? 1 is equal to 1 is what? True only. 1 equal to 1 is what? True. Always it is true. Even though you don't know username, password, you can just try to log in and get the details. That problem, you call it as what? Which problem it is? SQL injection. Your website should be as your website should be protection against which one? SQL injection, cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery, click jacking, password hashing, and what? Authentication. Then only it is secured. Otherwise, it is not secure. But Django provide inbuilt, means you don't require to think about that. It is inbuilt protection against all these things. But in other languages, you have to take care about it. But Django provide inbuilt. You don't require to think about all these things, but you should know what is the meaning of SQL injection and all the things. That is important. Okay, na? Understood? What do you say here? Okay, so you are a web developer and you should know what is web development. Don't just create one web page, right? You don't create a website just like that. If you create one banking site, all the people can withdraw the amount without what? Account. Yes. Is it secured or not secured? Not secured. So web development is not easy, right? Is it easy? Huh? No. What you learn in HTML is different. HTML is cool. LKG, UKG. Huh? Okay, LKG, UKG. Now, nowadays you can build a page without HTML code. You just tell AI, build what? Page. It builds. But if you tell AI, build a backend, will it build a? No. It cannot build. You have to build the backend. Backend cannot build automatically by any AI because that business logic you have to write it. Understood? Right. So this is a fourth one. What is the fourth one is? Security. Understood? So already I uploaded all these notes in my Telegram. Telegram. You know my Telegram, huh? So yesterday I uploaded and today also I'll upload it. This is my Telegram. And I'm saying when in coming days, we'll try to start by 7:15 like that. Huh? Okay. In coming days, when I'll tell you. But now we'll start by 7:30 only. Okay. Because 7:30 to 9 is not. 9 means 8:50 will leave. Okay. It means 1 hour 20 minutes is not sufficient. Huh? Okay. So in coming days, we'll see that. But tomorrow 7:30 only. Okay. Na? So this is my Telegram. I'll upload the notes in this. We'll see tomorrow. Thank you. Right.